Obviously, you have heard the statement, the kingdom is within you. Whose kingdom is in you, really? What is the kingdom within anyway? Is it the kingdom of your soul, spirit, or of flesh? Are you born with it in you, or it comes after birth? If so, when and how? Is it reality or by faith? Does it come during conception, before conception, or after conception? For us to understand this, we need to go a little bit deeper today and start by defining terms and look at whether you believe or you know, and how you can reclaim your kingdom or queendom, and how to sustain that kingdom if ever you claim it or if it exists at all, and how you could be possibly deceived about this kingdom that is within. And then we go to the eternal worth of the kingdom within, and our conclusion: a newly born baby is utterly vulnerable, almost useless. They know nothing, and if they are not protected, they would die within an hour after birth. Are they born with the kingdom inside them? The aged, the old, all those that we look at today as old people who are also vulnerable and have the behavior of small kids today, do they have the kingdom now? Where is their kingdom? What about those that never believe in this adage, the kingdom of heaven is within you? The atheists, the agnostics, and those that are lackadaisical about these philosophical issues. Is the kingdoms of heaven still within them, or they don't have it? What about someone who goes crazy, mentally crazy, is involved in an accident, or is unfortunate to be born in situations where he struggles from poverty, illness, loss of memory, and other diseases? What happens to the kingdom that should be within them? Or there is nothing. When we define these terms, especially in our language, we understand ijobare, ufalme, ushe, ukuba inkosi. Ndani yako kuna ufalme wako, mukati mwanu muli ufumu wanu, mukati mwako ndo mune ushe wako, ubu kati opakati kwako, umbuso upakati kwako, ngapakati kwako kukona umbuso wako, ubukami bako ngapakati kuwe. Inure ni ijobare edzeni ka wena kuni mfumo wa wena. This is critical to understand. We've defined it in our traditional way. So the significance of this kingdom is about territory, about the realm, about the domain, about dominion, about principality. So when you look at the word kingdom, the English word kingdom, it is king's domain, the domain of the king. We can also say queendom, the queen's domain. The splendor of the kingdom that is within you, or the splendor of any kingdom, is that it has a ruler, and that it has a territorial influence, and what or who influences you controls your kingdom, even the one within and the one without, either by a tiny or an expansive power. All kingdoms either expand, stabilize, stagnate, or vanish. A kingdom, a queendom is ruled by its king, or by someone who usurps the power of that king or a queen. So expanded meaning of this phrase, the kingdom is within you, is often inclusive of the monarchy, which means that one inherits this position by birth and essentially become the leader or head of state. But in terms of your personality or your individuality, that state is your consciousness state, your ninefold soul, which is psychologically called consciousness, as we have discovered in previous videos. What is consciousness? Consciousness is that which is being awakened to self-knowledge, to know itself, to rule its kingdom, inherit its potential after birth, not before, not during, but after birth, by the way it acts in life. The fact that the kingdom of heaven is your kingdom is one of the most kept secrets of all time. Yet the kingdom inside you is actually a spiritual realm. But you need to see the spiritual realm. You need to experience the spiritual realm. We shall indicate how you can experience and see this realm in our conclusion, issues and matters, and experience or experiment with them to prove these facts to yourself. So you need to reclaim your kingdom or your queendom by seeing in the spirit. And simple example is that you can close your eyes and in intense imagination acknowledge all your ancestors' divinities, both good and evil, and make a conscious selection of choosing the good, because everything is a reward, because everything is also inside you, because you have also the divine authority and your free will to choose what you want your life to manifest. How? Let's go a little bit deeper. How do you sustain thy kingdom? From the website Time and Cosmic, a blueprint of our identity in Miso Ceramics, the engagement and appreciation of Intongo, the ancestral dreamscape, via uyalezo ulwimi lwabaphansi, the medium through which messages are transmitted, as a means and method of structuring ulwazi lwabaphansi, the wisdom of the ancestors, since it is our ancestors who guard this sacred knowledge and release it to individuals that have proven themselves that they acknowledge the ancestors within them. And within Uyalezo is encoded the varying degrees and cycles of development of consciousness from an elemental, plant, animal, human, and cosmic level. So you could be actually operating at a plant level when you are a human being, or operating at an animal level trapped by your totems and behaving like an animal if you do not go further. This cosmology maps the flow and movement of time and cosmic energy, as well as its effects on isimo senhlalo. Isimo from imo, more in its closer relates to the states or modes of being, and the senhlalo refers to personal, familiar, and communal state or level of state or level of community. So when you look at this Intongo, comprises of a series of sculptural tools or chairs or benches exhibited in the custom of many Bantu communities in their ceremonial gatherings, when they are gathered in a secular arrangement over a fire, over a indaba, or even when they are healing, in which they ask the ancestors to protect themselves and to guide them and to teach them and to raise them up to understand the creative intelligence and the life force within. So this is how you can sustain your kingdom. But you can be deceived. A lot have been deceived by Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and many other religions, because they are then taught that the statement, the kingdom within, as utilized by Christians, refers to receiving Jesus and the Holy Spirit, because they then go and say the term within, or the word within, is written in the New Testament. When the Pharisees asked Jesus about the kingdom of God, whether it was going to appear according to Moody Handbook, the phrase within you in the King James Version, a New King James Version, is translated as in your midst, even the New International Version. So the other variance is that our ancestors taught 1,000 years before the Bible that the kingdom of heaven is within you, not amongst you, but within you. And whosoever shall know himself shall find it. But the Bible came and gave that kingdom to God. These two juxtaposed positions clarifies whose kingdom is in you. Your kingdom, maybe you're an atheist, you don't believe in anything. The Greco-Roman kingdom, a Christian, pale Jewish kingdom, you follow the Torah, you follow Yahweh or Yahuwah. Islamic, maybe you follow the Nation of Islam or other Islamic groups or agnostic. This identifies the consciousness that's taken over you, and that is running your life. Now, let's look at the eternal worth of thy kingdom within from a spiritual perspective. Then we'll look at quickly psychological angle and conclude and make a very interesting conclusion. From our ancestral proverbs, we know that know thyself. The purpose of all human life is to achieve a state of consciousness apart from bodily concerns. So this is where we know how to use totems, where we know how to manage our bodies in order to sustain our consciousness in states of our wakefulness. Man is to become divine-like or a god through a life of virtue and the cultivation of the spirit through scientific knowledge, practice, and bodily discipline. We have already shown you some of the practices that are essential to become godlike in this current life. To free the spirit, control the senses. The reward will be clear insight, clear perception. Make your life the subject of intense inquiry. In this way, you will discover its goal, direction, and destiny. The problem of human existence is the forgetfulness of the divine essence of the self and the identification with the body as the self. This comes from the book of Paratema Hore, as given by Sky Gods here. Let's continue to show this. Energy is also spirit. So when we say everything is energy, we are saying everything is a spirit. And we control the spirit by the power of our thoughts. The only God I rely upon is self. This is powerful. This is very, very powerful. You ought to think about this, digest this, and include this. If you have awakened, it is because you have been chosen to awaken. Be grateful. Not everyone is going to be chosen. Know the world inside you, which is in yourself. Never look for yourself in the world outside of you, for this would be to project your illusion. Now, it is time to be reborn like a new moon and to rise to your true glory like the sun. You are one with the universe and your ancestors when you wake up and they live by their principles. Thy kingdom. Consciousness is our ninefold soul. The most beneficial technology being hidden from humanity is the power in their own consciousness. The ability to be in this world and not have any attachment to this world is the highest form of spirituality. Awareness is consciousness in action, or soul in action. Serve no master, but the master inside you. Once you realize you are the master of your reality, your awareness will unlock the door to your true potential. You are born with that potential. Let's look at the adage from the psychological perspective. The adage, the kingdom is inside you, can be used as a reminder to focus on self-mastery. What is self-mastery? It is the physical mastery, gathering of will to act upon the right thing to do. It is mental mastery, discernment of thoughts to guide your perception of reality. It is spiritual mastery, raising your consciousness to find the true nature of your being. Emotional mastery, awareness of emotions and using them as a guide to finding stability. Self-control, you need to stop to think and to act. You also need to set and achieve your life goals, whether split in temporary goals or long-term goals or short-term goals. You need to use the adage as a reminder to set clear and specific goals and to take consistent action towards their attainment. You need to also have the self-esteem boosted up so that you rise up from low esteem to better belief of yourself, physical appearance, and achieve a lot. So unfortunately, most of these psychological inputs that we have repeated and that are repeated all over and expanded, especially in success psychology, were predated by the 10 virtues that our ancestors formulated in their mystery schools. I would read maybe 2 here. Discipline of thoughts, discipline of action, perfect devotion to a purpose. That's set your goal. It's all here. It's very, very clear. In summary, the statement, the kingdom is inside you, can be interpreted from a spiritual perspective as the innermost part of the self, the ninefold soul, or commonly referred to as human spirit, the source of one's true identity and purpose. It highlights the importance of self-mastery and self-control in achieving personal goals and living a fulfilling life, as well as connecting with one's deeper self, discovering one's true purpose, that's your soul, and aligning with one's true nature, transcending the ego, and connecting with the higher power or source, dancing near the Hazim Mukaha. When you dance here and you arrive to dance around this, you have achieved a lot. You will be greater than the gods. You'll be greater than the ancestors. And it's a battle and it's a struggle, but it doesn't mean it's not achievable. All of which can be achieved through spiritual practices such as ancestor and divinity veneration, libation, fasting, and self-reflection. To experience the presence of your righteous ancestors and interact with the divinities so that you can at least go near the chasm and at least be able to practice these powerful principles that lead to greater levels of success, happiness, and fulfillment in life, do not hesitate to get in touch with us on join@marivado.com. Till we meet again, your kingdom is worthy and more precious than all the gold ever mined on earth, including the diamonds. Your Manager Topi, Priest Rabbi LM Tumizu Kunikeni Mjakanja Mskabanu saying, your kingdom needs to be awakened. Amen.